Well, hey, everybody. Welcome on back to the Wasteland. Glad to have you. It's Greg the Ghoul here with my human companions, Harris and Sarah. We are here in the radical wasteland, the land of fallout, of death claws, of vault dwellers, of evil corporations destroying the world. We don't know anything about that in reality. But yeah, welcome on back. Glad to have you here. We are talking about, well, I mean, obviously we got some breaking news here that may that affects the industry. May not affect Fallout TV directly, but I think it's indicative of which way the industry as a whole is headed. Yeah, Warner Brothers is being bought by Netflix, or at least they've entered some sort of exclusive negotiating period that Netflix paid a pretty penny for. And usually when you pony up that kind of cash for the opportunity to talk behind closed doors, it's because the deal's already done. So, you know, you don't pay out millions and millions for a quiet backroom chat if you don't already know what the outcome of that conversation is going to be. So yeah,
if
only. What do y'all think so far about that?
I know it.
Don't everybody jump in once.
I guess I'm just kind of a wait and see. I'm glad, I guess, Warner Brothers isn't going to go under or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see what Netflix does with it. I mean, I think now that means Netflix will have actual studio space and stuff. We'll see what they do with it.
Yeah. Oh, and they're gonna have a lot of studio space. They just down here in Burbank, like right next to, just right down about 2 miles that way from where I live, Warner Brothers just finished building a whole new campus on Hollywood Way.
Oh, wow.
That is done. It is, well, or basically, as you can see in the windows, it's like the structures are done. They're finishing up the drywalling and everything, but the layout's done. And it's a multi-million-dollar facility. It's studio space. Like they tore down the old Warner Ranch, and this is what they put in its place. And now to have this happen, it's like, interesting. Everybody keeps talking about how runaway production is a big problem, and I agree. And I had coffee with one of my industry mentors on Wednesday, and he was saying that I go to coffee with my manager and my agent whenever I can, at least once a month, and just chat with them about the state of everything and what I can do better and what else, what they're doing for me, how everything's going in our working relationship, blah blah blah, because I think a lot of people are scared of their representatives, and I'm like, no, we work together, so we go and take the time.
It's a team
to collaborate and get on the same page about stuff. And my manager is like, oh, everything's coming back. Just give it time. Just give it time. She's been telling me that for 5 years. And my mentor, who is also a manager in the industry, but also is someone who's been around, like doing, working in entertainment since like the 80s. He was like, this is the shift. This is the change. This is it's never going to be the same, and this is, LA as a town might be finished, and because all the production is going abroad, and with the with all the media conglomerates getting siloed here, all these vertical integrations, and the concentration of all the power as all these studios are being bought up by bigger conglomerates. It's bad. So, and it was a sobering conversation in a lot of ways, hearing that. And I think this is indicative of that, where, it's like Qui-Gon Jinn said, there's always a bigger fish. And now we're seeing like the what used to be like the goldfish, the guppy, the one that was, the group that wasn't allowed to be at the Oscars because all the studios were keeping them out, is now buying up one of the oldest and most established studios in the industry. It's wake up call,
It is. Monk just brought up a great question. Do you think there will be Warner Bros. Theatrical releases in 5 years?
No, I have a feeling that, and I think, and Harris, you iterated this offline while we were chatting before we fired up the stream, that they might be trying to get rid of theatrical releases because all they're doing, because Netflix just puts their award contenders out there. And how long before they take a page out of political administrations and get themselves into a position to rewrite the rules that they don't like, and they write a chapter in the rule book for Oscar eligibility where streaming, it debuting on streaming is enough to make it an Oscar qualifier. Like, how long before that happens?
Well, and we touched on it right beforehand. For those that think that, oh, this is Netflix trying to really get their hands in the theatrical release,
they've already been doing that, though.
Yeah.
Why would they actually want to put a theatrical release out there? Why does it actually do anything for Netflix from Netflix's point of view? It is proven. It is an actual true fact that if you release something in theaters and then put it on streaming, it does do better. I don't think Netflix is generally worried about that. Even with that metric being a reality, I don't think they're worried about it at all. They still get enough views. They still understand that they're growing all over the globe, more so than just the markets that we're used to talking about. They don't care about a theatrical release. The only things that they currently care about that theatrical release for are their Oscar bait projects, their prestige projects. And like you said, if they get the next 5 years of releases or however long, and they're all just doing 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, they don't have a vested interest in, hey, we got Frankenstein for 2 weeks this year. If Netflix was interested, remotely interested in theatrical releases, they would have released Extraction and Extraction 2. Those Chris Hemsworth big blockbuster things that they did for more than they didn't release them at all. They would have released those for 2 weeks and just given those a short theatrical run. They're not interested in it. They've proven it time and time again and said as much time and time again. And even with Greta Gerwig and Ryan Johnson over there saying, you're going to put our third Knives Out film in theaters again. Oh, you're going to put my entire Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe and all the Narnia movies I make in theaters. That's part of my deal. I don't think it's enough to save them because I don't think they have that vested interest to keep them there for 2 months.
No.
Closer to 2 weeks.
Yeah, minimum run for qualifying, and then put it on stream. Yeah.
Well, it's sad, but is that just the way the world's going, though? You know, I mean, it's sad that they don't want to do theatrical releases, but is that just kind of the future, whether or not Netflix, you know, is involved or whatever?
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's the thing is that, I mean, even I gotta admit, I didn't see Fantastic Four in theaters. I haven't seen it yet, but that's because I don't fucking sleep right now with all the work that I'm doing. But it is like, it was one of those things, like when I saw the trailers and everything, I'm like, oh, I'll catch that on Disney Plus, you know, because going to the movies is time consuming and expensive. And if it's not something that, you know, like Jen and I have plenty of options for our date nights when we manage to take them, you know, we'll go to Disneyland, going to the movies is not a date night for us anymore, you know? And yeah, it's expensive and it's time consuming and, you know, it's a older behavior now that is being replaced by something much more convenient. And that's, you know, and even then, you know, when we're home, like we're not firing up Netflix that much or Disney Plus, like unless we're like watching something specific. Like we binged the, you know, Stranger Things season 5 part 1 in one night. You know, we did that, but unless we're doing very specific watching, it's like we throw on YouTube on the Roku. We throw on, you know, like Jen will sit and watch TikTok while she crochets. You know, it's low effort brain rot that kind of takes over as the media option. You know, I like watching my 20-minute video essays on whatever random historical topic that caught my fancy. You know, like that's kind of my jam. You know,
the
and
dopamine hits.
yeah. Get that serotonin flowing, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Monk brings up another great point that kind of will lean us towards, I guess, maybe some more Fallout too. It also makes me worry about the quality of future Warner Brothers releases. Most of the Netflix movies are poor quality. Netflix movies are not really done super well cinematically. They're beautiful at times, but
I'm going to say this. I mean, they platform Zack Snyder, and the guy knows how to make things look good. I mean, he had, you know, if he has something like the Watchmen graphic novel, like get at me in the comments. I don't give a shit. I will lambaste guys like Michael Bay and Zack Snyder all day long. And I've met Zack. He's a lovely individual. He's a lovely person. I think he's a fantastic visual artist. I think that he's gotten a little too high on his own supply about stuff and doesn't know how to tell a fucking story. But that's me. That's my opinion, and I'm just some random asshole.
Zack Snyder is a great director. If he didn't write the project, had nothing to do with it, and is just a director for hire.
Well, okay, but also if it's like 300 or Watchmen, and you literally have your fucking storyboard in graphic novel format.
If you give him a cheat sheet, he's solid. He
Oh,
sucked every time.
No
Because I
doubt.
love Watchmen. I love 300. I really like his Dawn of the Dead. I like a few of his things, but it ain't gonna look pretty. And he's actually probably the perfect example of where Netflix has gone with just their approach to filmmaking. It's the lackadaisical approach. It's the quickest way. If they can find a cheat sheet, you damn know well they'll use it. Netflix will. One thing that Netflix is doing that might actually help theaters a little bit. How much will it? We'll see. They are releasing the final episode of Stranger Things in movie theaters just for 2 days, though, and everywhere's already sold out. I already tried to find freaking tickets.
They're making an event screening. Sure. Yeah.
It
would
be awesome if they did that far more frequently and did it for more than 2 damn days in just the big cities around the globe as well.
Overhead on that is tough, though, in this economy at the moment. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, I deal with it on a microcosm where I used to get people renting my theater for 8-week runs of shows, and now I get 1, maybe 2 weekends if I'm lucky.
Well, even if they were going to do just the weekend of showings or something, it might be an interesting thing for theaters to try to bring new life and breathe new life into themselves by showing more television episodes. Hey, I'm not the biggest Rings of Power fan, but I did see the first 2 episodes with a Q&A with the cast because, LA does a whole thing in a AMC on like a LED screen. It was a really cool thing. And it was a lot more fun. It was a better experience. It was the best experience I've had with Rings of Power just in general. Just watching those first 2 episodes with the Q&A and all that kind of stuff. That was fun.
So, yeah.
Would something like Fallout be kind of perfect to bring to theaters? Hey, maybe if you have a theatrical pass, like I have my Regal Unlimited, it's 50 cents. All I do is pay the tax on a ticket to go see a movie now.
Wow.
Which encourages you to go, buy stuff at concessions and stuff like that. If they were to do that.
And in the business model, that's where theaters make the money is concessions.
Yeah.
That's what keeps them afloat.
So if these Regal passes, if these AMC Unlimited, or Regal Unlimited AMC Pass, whatever, I forget the actual call. It's Stubs, but then there's the actual A-List. That's the one. Then Cinemark and Movie Club, all these different things. If people get those kind of subscriptions up, which is consistent money for theaters, which is good, and maybe theaters can do us a little solid and throw us a bone. Maybe these companies could reach out to theaters with the bigger shows like a Stranger Things or a Fallout or even a Rings of Power, something along those lines that could be theatrically done. The thing that's screwing, I think, Stranger Things up right now is even if you have that Regal Unlimited pass, instead of 50 cents to go see that, it's $11 to go see. Yeah, it's 2.5 hours. It's $11 to see the last episode of television rather than
which you can go home and watch with your subscription.
For free. So if you're not letting me use my 50-cent subscription or whatever, it feels a little screwy. They need to work that out. But I think there's a way that this could help bring that theatrical just experience back, even with something more camaraderie like TV.
Yeah.
And Fallout might be poised to do something like that if they were to try.
Well, I feel like Fallout is, just like most prestige television, it has the budget to be, like cinema quality. And go out there and look great on a movie screen, and you're watching in a 20-foot high image and just like enjoying it,
Give me power armor on a big screen.
Yeah,
give me the power armor on a silver screen.
Yeah, that would look
really cool. I'm all in favor of that. But I also feel like that this is there's a shift happening in how we tell stories. I mean, I feel like TV shows are becoming more like movies, and movies are, movies are now evolving to the point where they're being consumed more like television, and that, so the lines are really blurring. You're seeing a lot of people who were traditional movie stars now being the leads in major TV shows, which is boxing out, growing actors from having a major, footstep in their career. Yeah. There's, the lines are blurring. There is no such thing as being a TV star anymore, because in order to get a role on prestige television, you have to have an Academy Award or at least a nomination. And
it's killed the movie star, but it has killed the TV star as well. People don't talk about that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's just you have A-listers now, and the form of media doesn't necessarily matter as much. And the thing is that so much of this is, who and it's the in groups that are in power at the moment, and who's got the sway and the influence, and who do they like working with, and it's these really small tight circles. This is why, and it's just getting more more and more insular. And there's,
Yeah.
you know, you're seeing it in writers' rooms and you're seeing it with talent. There's, I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be spicy, but bear with me for a second, okay?
Pink.
Kevin Spacey, before we knew he was a giant piece of shit, had a fantastic quote about the industry, and I killed Harris.
I'm joking. I was like,
yeah, but he had a quote that really resonated with me, and it is the responsibility of everyone who makes it into this industry to send the elevator back down for the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was, and that has stopped. That has 100% stopped. Absolutely. Like, you know, productions have moved abroad. You know, it's cheaper to shoot series TV in Eastern Europe. The level of casting. Oh, and the other thing is that now the industry is dead because it used to be that it was quantity. And you would have 70, 80 TV shows shooting 20 to 24 episode seasons.
Oh yeah,
1 hour or half an hour or an hour, and production would start in pilot season would be in January. You'd get your pickups, and then after the summer hiatus, bam, production goes into full swing, and everything dropped like clockwork. Nowadays, you're seeing. I mean, Stranger Things is on season 5. It's been going for 10 years. You know, you're seeing at least 2 years between seasons. Like, I think part of the reason why Netflix is seeing numbers down, other than the fact that they dropped it on fucking Thanksgiving.
That was a great idea.
Like, what the hell, guys? You know, people might want to be with their families instead of watching Stranger Things. I mean, who knows? But beyond that, the momentum is lost. You know, it's not necessarily like, oh, it's been so long, I'm so excited. It's, oh God, this show is back. What the fuck was happening in this again?
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of that. And you're seeing this, and at least Fallout, once they realized that they had a big hit, they were like, cool, we're doing 2 seasons back to back. And then I think as soon as the numbers drop on the first weekend of season 2, I guarantee you we're going to get a renewal for season 4. Guarantee it. Okay.
I agree.
But you know, it was a gut punch the other day when I was like, oh man, Severance. I saw an announcement on Instagram about Severance that was, hey, writers' room, get ready to get back in for April 2026, and you know, the new season drops June 2027.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah.
I haven't watched any of it. I should.
Oh, it's so good.
You get time to catch up.
Plenty of time.
YouTubers get a lot of recap views.
Yeah, a lot of grist for that mill. You know, I mean, and I watch. You know, I'm a big Screen Crush guy. I will sit and watch Screen Crush all day long. I actually went to Ryan Airy's live show when he came through LA. You know,
I remember you saying that. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. I think. Sorry, I'm sorry. Cheeky Bardo is the greatest hour of television ever written. Don't at me. That was part of season 2 of Severance. Just like one of the most brilliant and most gorgeous cinematic episodes of television. Yeah, gotta watch it. Y'all gotta check it out. But it's God, it's just it's so frustrating to see the industry be this way, because now everybody's got the money to throw in for quality, but there's no quantity and there's no volume. You know, and it's funny. Television is getting bigger and better and bigger and better and bigger and better. And movies, they were talking about how there's a decline in the quality of movies for Netflix. You know, because why spend the money on 1 2-hour experience that you're just going to promote for 2 weeks and then stick in the back of the catalog and let it collect dust versus, something that you could drag out for months at a time. You know, if you don't, and if it's shit, then you just drop it all at once, and you do it like how they did What If season 3, and you do it right between Christmas and New Year's, and just forget that it happened. You know.
Well, just to jump off of that and what Sarah was saying earlier. Oh, excuse me. We kind of discussed it talking Stargate Wednesday, yesterday, Thursday, because we did it the day after. I was like, I know it was like within the last 24 hours, I swear.
Yeah.
We were talking about just how the approach to it was. And I'm definitely the person that likes those more succinct stories. I do like the prestige TV as much as I like Monster of the Week. I appreciate Monster of the Week type of stuff for damn sure. But I think Stargate coming back, we talked about, should rely more on that Monster of the Week and kind of make sure it has that and has multiple big bads. Because with the way that film and TV have switched like that, where if you're going to put out a movie, the quality doesn't have to be there as much as you need characters from your last movie, or you need somebody from the same universe in this to do it. It's very much that sequel, requel, prequel, whatever.
Shared universe, multiverse. Yeah.
Where that prestige TV has come in, and it's like, okay, well, now you got 3 kind of like mini movies each season. Now you got 12 episodes, 4 episode arcs. You got 9 episodes, 3 episode arcs, whatever that is. And I love that stuff, but it has totally changed the entire pitch of what TV and film are and how people approach and digest them.
Yeah. The quality has gone through the roof. They're throwing billions of dollars at these shows, which great.
And I super appreciate it for things like Fallout. Totally, 1,000%.
The volume is down, and as a result, there are so many fewer opportunities. There's no growth opportunities for actors, no growth opportunities for writers, because once somebody gets in a writer's room, they stay there because that's the only job they can fucking get. And that means there are tons of writers that are getting boxed out. Production people are leaving Los Angeles en masse because there's no work here, and as my buddy Brad pointed out when I had coffee with him, anybody that's if you're not one of the stars, then you're hired locally in wherever they're working. Or what really pissed me off was that Matlock shoots here in LA, and Brad was telling me about one of his students that was that works in Albuquerque and works decently regularly in Albuquerque, got booked and in LA and came from Albuquerque to work in LA as a local hire. And I'm just like, oh, okay, awesome. How many actors do we have in LA? You tell me you couldn't find that guy in LA. Now, I mean, I recognize the hypocrisy here because I'm on my agency's Atlanta roster, but we all got to do what we got to do. But it's just frustrating to see how, they're getting thousands of submissions per role, and there's only one actor for each job. I think, and I don't know. I hate to be all doomsayer, but it's not getting better. And these vertical integrations in the studios buying each other out and everything else, it just means fewer opportunities.
The only quantity that's left, rather than the TV shows like you were saying earlier, because even with the movies kind of taking over that TV space of, okay, well, instead of like a second season of this kind of thing, we're going to get movie 2 and 3.
We'll do an El Camino. Yeah.
They're while the quality isn't necessarily there story-wise, because they're just kind of rushing the sequels out film-wise, typically more so than they are TV nowadays, because you get the 2 years for TV half the freaking time. The quality in the writing's not there for the film. The budget never went away though, so they're still spending exuberant amounts on these bigger films that people just aren't seeing the way they were. They're not making the money back. They can't make the quantity of films or the quantity of TV because it's all prestige or sequel that has to be a high budget sequel. And that the only quantity that's left. And, we do want to shoot for quality over quantity as, an industry, as a profession, as actors and people that just talk about acting and enjoying it. You want the best of the best as consistently as possible. And we're in an embarrassment of riches to a degree of that. But the quantity is gone and you don't get the fun. An easy example is, hey, we all feel our pocketbooks on a daily basis. There's very little middle class left. And I feel like the middle class of film is, we've talked about it before, you and I, Greg, on this. Yeah. There is no middle class actor left. Very, very far and few between. And it feels like the middle class of filmmaking is almost gone as well. And that's what Stargate was. That's what Star Trek is. That's what Star Wars TV shows are. That's half the things that we just enjoy talking about here. They're no longer capable of existing because of the way they have it set up now.
Yeah, because they're throwing so much money at this stuff now that it's not. It has to succeed. Nothing's got a chance to. I mean, it was like Neil Gaiman putting it out there. Like, if you don't watch Sandman the minute it drops, if you don't watch it on the first weekend, it's going to get canceled, guys. I mean, and that's the thing is that, and this is Hollywood reaching its logical conclusion in a lot of ways, because Hollywood's been run by accountants for far, for almost as long as it's been around. It's been run by the bean counters, and it's always been about the difference between art and entertainment is that entertainment is made for the lowest common denominator. It's made to have the broadest appeal, and most art doesn't really give a shit about appealing to everybody. Yeah. I haven't heard anything about what's going to happen yet, but I know all the Snyder Bros are thinking that James is out and Zack's going to come back and give them Justice League 2. And I'm like, not y'all. No, it's dead and gone. It's dead. The Snyderverse is over. Go,
as it should be. Yeah. I enjoy that movie a lot more than the theatrical cut. That doesn't make it a great movie.
No.
Yeah, and again, see what I said about Zack above, So
yeah. So are the just all that topic coming into a kind of head there? Are we in? Is the film industry at least? And shit, it kind of feels like everything with AI and just everything closing in at a lot of angles. It feels like around the world right now.
Yeah.
Are we in our Coliseum stage?
Services? Getting close.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we're getting close, and I hate to say this because man, I have loved I loved comic book media when it finally blew up and got its due with the Arrowverse and when the MCU happened and everything else. Like I love all the superhero media, but I really do feel like that this has become so packaged, so commercialized, even beyond what it was before, to the point where this is our bread and circuses now. Yeah.
Well, that thought. So we are in our Coliseum, which means Caesar or Caesar is coming, or Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
How is episodes 5 through 8 of season 1?
I mean, I just was. I still love the show, and I know that we're talking about all this stuff here about the death of it, but what is happening is really good stuff. It really is.
Well, and the one thing that we kind of have gone back to multiple times over the last probably month or so, just discussing specifically the two things that seem like there's going to be more than two things necessary to save the industry or bring jobs back to Hollywood and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But Fallout and Stargate are poised to do just that in a lot of ways. And hey, obviously we're going to be excited about that over on SciTrek. We like talking about those two things.
Yeah, exactly.
Nonetheless, it's really cool to see sci-fi be the last hope in a lot of ways.
Well, and science fiction has always been one of the mirrors that's held up to society to examine itself through allegory, and I think that our role as that mirror is more important now than ever, with everything going on in the world. Just rewatching old episodes of Deep Space Nine is just so the messages there are still relevant today. But I do remember being a kid in the 90s watching these shows, and even as just a teenager watching them, I was like, oh, I get what they're talking about here. You see it, you feel it. They made it. Yeah. Oh yes, R.I.P. to
Kiri Hiroyuki Tagawa, I think is how you say it.
Yes. No, I'm trying to remember his character in Mortal Kombat. Shang Tsung. He played Shang Tsung a lot. Yeah.
I just what's the role? He's sitting in the throne. It's like one of those, he's just sitting there and has that his face is just a solid square. There's the most muscular face ever for a little bit of time. Like he's just he's got some great just stills and It won't bring back the industry if they approach Stargate like all the modern prestige TV. If they do bring back, literally Monster of the Week shows would not save the industry and bring back a whole bunch of jobs, but it wouldn't not at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody went back and actually, I would be really interested to see what would happen if somebody started doing TV the way it used to be, where you're shooting episodes, 8 shooting days an episode, and you're cranking out 23 a season. I mean, I can understand, and doing it cheap. You don't have to spend millions of dollars an episode to make good TV.
No,
that's the thing. Because the last, I think, actual set of shows to do that. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Just to try to add to it is The Arrowverse, when you mentioned them earlier,
Yeah. And I'm a Marvel guy, but they fucking nailed that.
They did.
Arrowverse was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was a little too expensive, and the CW has not ever once been profitable. It would be really interesting to see a network that actually has its footing under itself to do exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's a K-shaped economy right now. And you know, they're the people with the money are making more money, and the opportunities are fewer and further between. You know, and then that's not even addressing the gorilla in the room that's AI. You know, and how they're just trying to replace the human element in entertainment altogether.
But can that gorilla beat 100 humans? That is TBD.
But we've made whole franchises of movies about AI beating the 100 gorillas. You know, like I mean that's literally the Terminator. So
yeah.
Hey, as long as Jimmy C is still alive, we have a chance. I'll never bet against James Cameron. He will be our savior against the blue monkey people and the giant Terminator things. Everything that is scary that could come to Earth, Jimmy C's got our back. I don't know. I don't know where that was
so
going.
Fucked. It's not even. I just No, I think that's part of the reason why. Like, I still have reps. I'm still, I still have people submitting me on doing stuff. But I don't want to say that I've largely disengaged from the industry, but I'm very happy just focusing on doing live theater because I know that AI isn't going to replace that anytime soon.
It's the most rewarding thing, I think, still performance-wise.
Yeah. Yep.
I have to start going to theater, like my husband and I on date nights or something should go to. I mean, because there's a few here in Seattle, I should go.
You got some really good companies up there. Seattle Rep's really solid. I know that. And people are doing some really fun work. I mean, I think there's a Seattle Fringe Festival that's worth checking out. That'll be.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it.
That's a mixed bag. Every Fringe Festival is a mixed bag, but sometimes you see things that are absolute dog shit, and sometimes you see something that's a religious experience. I mean, that's the lotto,
If it's your first time going, typically look for a review first before you just jump into a show.
Yeah, look at the reviews. Yeah, always.
If there's one good review, that's kind of all you need sometimes, because not a lot of people go to every single Fringe show. It can be a little fringe, So as long as there's one good review, it's typically like, okay, somebody saw this. Somebody
saw this, and I went to a show late in the Hollywood Fringe one year that had no reviews, and typically if a show has no reviews and it's been running a couple of performances because nobody wants to say anything bad. Yeah,
it's that bad.
Yeah,
thankful for them. Sorry, I mean, go Netflix, pay me, hire me, but also put me in the movie theater, please.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully Warner Brothers
about us talking smack about them on a podcast, guys. They're used to it. They're bigger than that. If they think that they can make money off of us, they'll hire us.
Yep.
It depends what show.
It really does depend what show. There is some bad theater out there. Absolutely, I have to facilitate it because that's what pays my rent. Because they pay me to be able to do their bad theater. But there's a lot of really good theater out there too, and I think that people need to get back out there and explore that more. I'm hoping that in lieu of going to the movies, going to live theater is what kind of comes back as part of this reorganization and reemergence.
Well, and y'all have been really good about one thing. So particularly lots of things, of course, but particularly one thing that I'd give you and Jen super props on, especially setting up the new Hobgoblin. Which, if y'all ever have the chance, check it all out because you should. Y'all have set it up to be able to, and I guess it's a package that people have to get, but to live stream everything.
Yeah,
I think that is that nice happy medium of streaming, but also live theater and also YouTube at the same time. It kind of is it's not 4 quadrant necessarily that we're looking for, but there's that 3 quadrants out of 4 right there. That's like, all right, are these the quadrants we're shooting for now? And obviously people aren't clamoring over live theater online necessarily. I think the most that there's ever been for that was probably Hamilton,
absolutely.
Yeah, that was huge. Yeah.
Don't ask me my opinions on Hamilton.
There are more and more, at least of the bigger companies are doing pro shots and streaming them, like National Theater at Home. There's
did the Stranger Things do a filmed version of it?
I've seen that I've seen footage from a pro shot of it.
Okay.
And every recap video that I've watched as I got ready for season 5 had copious amounts of material from the Broadway show in there. So there's got to be a pro shot streaming somewhere. You know?
Okay. Because stuff like that, I think,
I'll look for that then.
not necessarily would replace, but at least maybe imitate, maybe into replacing that middle class of filmmaking in a way. Maybe it's not even filmmaking anymore. It's just it's for the sake of the artists and the performers, which is kind of the original intent of it all. And it's just people being able to enjoy the art that people not want to make, but feel the need to make, you know? And getting back to that.
Yeah, Peter, that's Hollywood in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
There are many people that can't act their way out of a paper bag, but they got a 6-pack and then a chiseled jaw, and they get a lot of work. And when I'm saying that people, 3,000 actors per role, yeah, and actually, what's even worse is now it's who's got the bigger Instagram following.
That's the worst part. That is the worst part.
And now 98% of commercials are non-union. It used to be that you could book a Lowe's commercial and live for a year, off the residuals. And now most commercials are non-union. And most advertisers these days aren't booking actors. They're getting influencers, and they're just going directly to influencers with brand deals.
Yeah, that's where the young people are.
I love both of them. They just both piss me off sometimes. Lin-Manuel Miranda does not piss me off. Just Hamilton. James Gunn, I like James Gunn.
Yeah, I like James Gunn too. And Lin-Manuel Miranda is a fucking genius.
He's amazing. Yeah. Hamilton makes me want to vomit into a bag that is over my head and regurgitates, so I end up choking on it and just falling over and keeling over dead. But everything besides that he's done is phenomenal work. Yeah,
and now he's, God bless him, he's got tons of work coming from Disney. He's cranking out all kinds of good stuff. But even still, In the Heights, fantastic show. His body of work before Hamilton was outstanding. But all these shows walked so Hamilton could run.
And just him as an actor in general, like obviously, like Mary Poppins and stuff like that, he's perfect for. He's fit into that kind of stuff. But I love his role in his Dark Materials. I wish they would have had more of him on there. He's a great actor and just in general performer.
Yeah.
And so are the cast of Fallout. If we want to jump in and talk about
I don't think this season recap is ever happening, Harris. I think we made a noble effort, but the world is just too much. No, I wore my shirt today just to show how dedicated I am. Vault 33. So,
you want to know what cracked me up more than anything starting the rewatch at the beginning of this week?
What?
Was I think we got excited about episode 5 more. Because one of the things we talked about more when we were recapping episodes 1 through 4 was the moment when they crossed the bridge.
Yeah.
And have to shoot the fiends, which happened in the beginning of episode 5 and not 4. Yeah. I was like, well, there we go.
Yeah.
That was a good crack up there.
Yeah.
The final half of the season is an emotional roller coaster, specifically from Lucy's point of view. And watching a lot of Ella Purnell's interviews leading into season 2 and stuff, I'm really intrigued to just see her emotional state. I say, simply put, and just how that is going to inform her decision making, because she trusts the ghoul, but not to a degree. I mean, to a degree, excuse me. And she talks about trying to. One of my favorite things she said in an interview so far is she believes that Lucy is going to start believing in the ghoul. The ghoul has had nobody to believe in him in a long time, and it might bring a little bit of a warm fuzzy back to him.
Aww.
To a degree. I think
warm fuzzy ghoul.
That naive optimism.
And then it was interesting what she said, because that's like, all right, do we really want the ghoul to get a little warm and fuzzy at the same time? It's like, okay, a little bit of an eye roll, but I see how it naturally would happen.
He's center though, because his whole arc is finding his family.
Exactly,
that's his driving force. So he's got that.
It's getting to that Tootsie Pop in the middle.
And because it's Fallout, he's going to find them, and it's going to be the worst possible shit happening. Because while this is a horror comedy, it's emphasis on the horror. And
the other thing that she said in the interview that I found really interesting was that same thought applied to Hank. because the interviewer's like, Hank, he kind of sucks. You don't really mince words about that. He's kind of just a bad guy.
Yeah, he is.
That same thought, is she going to have just a little bit of a hard set belief in her father that maybe he has some good left in him. Maybe he will do something. And where will that lead us?
Yeah.
So just her saying that is just like making my brain go in all these different angles. Like, okay, so how is she going to let Hank do something, and what's going to end up leading us into season 3 now? Haven't seen an episode, 2 minutes of season 1 or 2, excuse me. I'm already ready for season 3 just from that comment. But hey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I you know what I thought was interesting was I saw in one of in an interview that they're kind of leaving it ambiguous about who won, and it sounds like every faction's going to have their own story, about what happened at the second battle of the Hoover Dam.
What do you remember that creator's name? She's one of the other showrunners. It's like Geneva something. I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but I remember exactly what you're talking about. And she says the show's 15 years after, 16 years, something like that. After
that's an eternity in a post-apocalyptic wasteland where there's no structure, no society, and you're going to have some people that have distant memories of what happened, and it's all going to be different. It's a wasteland full of unreliable narrators, which is a favorite trope of the show. So that fits or of the genre. So that fits perfect.
Who remembers what and how is always a great way of saying that. And she made a great point, and she used LA as an example, but Seattle or New York or wherever, Chicago. Hey, what did those cities look like 10 years ago? Not what they look like now, to a degree, sure, but not what they look like now. And what would that look like in an apocalyptic wasteland that is still kind of thriving around there to a degree?
I mean, it depends on your. The definition of thriving is relative at that point. Yeah.
Existing with slight comfort is thriving in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
But every villain's a hero of their own story. That's a good point. And that's going to be something that I think Fallout is going to lean into. It's almost like they have for 25, 30 years already.
Yeah, and the thing is like, look, they make a lot of statements about how the corporations are the bad guys and help bring about the downfall of society in the name of capitalism and Fallout. I mean, that's pretty unambiguous. But at the same time, their intention, at least Vault-Tec's intention, was to remake the world full of corporate management, and that was their vision for the world. And that makes them the hero in their own story because what they think they're doing is saving the world. I mean, never mind the fact that I'd rather eat the barrel of a 12 gauge than live in a world like that, but that's besides the point,
Yeah. If the world was going to end up in apocalyptic wasteland anyway, why not speed it up and reform it in the way that it should be?
Reform it in my own image. And that's the thing is when you have enough power and resources and money, people can't help but feel the desire to play God when you have that much power,
Yeah.
Almost like it makes you start experimenting with people in vaults or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Vault Force, for instance.
I was playing New Vegas the other day. I haven't picked it up in a few days. Get a couple hours in when you can. And I got the Vault 22 quest, and I haven't done it yet, but I want to go. I feel like
that's where the plants took over, yeah?
Where the plants took over.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
That quest alone should have a big impact on what we see. Because that was going to, if the courier in real time, whatever that actually happened, they are going to leave it ambiguous. So whatever actually happened with the courier in New Vegas, essentially, whatever happened, he did something in Vault 22. If he brought that back to the scientists to spread throughout the NCR and just New Vegas in general, they can grow food in the desert. They're not going to be worrying about a whole bunch in that sense. If the water was purified and the other vault dwellers kind of ended up getting it's more room for almost maybe parts of the Mojave to be not jungly or forested, but vined up a little bit. Like, I don't know what the correct term would be. A little brushy,
Yeah.
there are specific quests in the game that we should see the ramifications of, which is going to be fun.
No, I think that there will be answers to a lot of questions about like what happened to this, what happened to that. I think we're going to see a lot of that, but I think that I feel like that they're gonna give us unreliable narrators. My money is that they're gonna present like, here's the definitive ending of how the Battle of Hoover Dam went in like episode. They might come out and say it like in episode 1, and then the next episode you see it from somebody else's point of view and it's a completely different result. And then a third episode, like maybe in episode 4, they'll do another whole thing, and then you just figure it out that it's like nobody really has a clear picture of what happened that day. Everybody's got their own version of events, and I think that would be a really fun way to do it.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah,
and from that creator, it sounds like that's kind of
how they're going, But I think the best way to do it would be to make a definitive statement, like right out the gate, and then undermine it one episode later.
Joker it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
How'd you get those scars? Well, the Legion gave it to me. Well, the Great Khans gave it to me. The Powder Gangers, whoever,
some corrupt NCR guys gave it to me. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Monk, yeah, I see you responding there, but that's largely left unknown. To answer that question specifically, it's largely left unknown if there's part of the U.S. that isn't untouched by the apocalypse in Fallout. We've seen what happens in the Commonwealth and what happens in the Capitol, and we've seen what happens in various regions of California. But I think that there were probably areas in like Montana or North Dakota or places where the populations are a little more scarce, where they probably didn't drop bombs. But that's but from what we understand, the nuclear war between China and the U.S. pretty much took out everything, because even if you're not within the blast radius, you're dealing with nuclear winter. You're dealing with, it pretty much fucked the whole planet, from what we understand. But also, Alaska was actually one of the fronts of the war. That was actually like the front. Yeah, could be if people got, I mean, the Nazis tried to put a base in Antarctica. I imagine that somebody else tried doing it later.
Mutant penguins.
Stargate Command also did at some point.
Stargate Command, yeah. Are you telling me that Stargate Command was found by the Germans?
The Stargate might have been.
Okay.
This is what comes up.
Excellent.
This is just from Reddit, and it's falloutreplay.com is what it looks like it's coming from. But this is where supposedly the nukes dropped. Yeah. And obviously, like we know, LA got a lot more. I think this is just representative of the region that was nuked rather than the amount of bombs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So stretches and basically where you don't see much happening, that's because it's just stretches of nada.
Yeah. Hey, Amarillo's all fine.
There you go.
I'm dead.
Yeah,
you guys are dead too.
So are we. Yeah. We are royally fucked.
One thing I do find interesting about this is that obviously Fallout and its fictional universe is much more nuclear energy focused rather than oil and gas and stuff. Yeah. If this were real life, where I'm from, right between that like North Texas right there, that Northeast Texas and that South Texas, in that Southeast quadrant is the largest oil reserves in the world. If anything happens nowadays, it's going in the first 5 bombs in the U.S. if someone actually does something like that. Yeah, it is interesting to not see that here because
that's that warm water port that Russian bots love to talk about. Yeah.
This is interesting to see that wouldn't be necessary in a world that's more atomic focused.
Yeah.
No, and it's not necessary in the first place. Nobody get ideas. Just saying.
Yeah, New York's wiped off the map. Boston's wiped off the map. All my favorite places, man. Yeah. And then and looks like Florida gets blown to hell, but
yeah.
And nothing of value is lost.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, who misses that?
I mean, honestly, though, if you really want to make sure that you take out the Australia of the U.S. and all the dangers held within, nuke the shit out of Florida. Like that's the game. Because the last thing you need is Florida man coming after you. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I
we
would love
already get
Red
Gator
Dawn
Claw.
set in Florida would be hilarious because those guys, the invaders, wouldn't know what hit them. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
The Gator Claws and just Fallout 4 being everywhere, not just everywhere, but absolutely everywhere would.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Gator Claws. That's terrifying. Like,
You,
like take something bad and make it worse.
have you seen Gator Claws? Have you played that Fallout 4? It's part of no. It's part of Nuka World.
Oh, I haven't done Nuka World. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's nightmare fuel. All right. Hey,
the worst
Harris,
pixelated thing ever.
But Harris, now I want to write. A parody of Red Dawn set in Florida, where it's a couple of rednecks that think Red Dawn is happening.
Yep.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Maybe it turns out that somebody's making a movie or something. But you know, like it's a couple of rednecks trying to fend off what they think is a communist invasion.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. All right. Now I've got an idea. That could be a really that's now I want to write that movie. All right.
We've got our we got the idea for the troupe for doing the Simpsons thing for the post-apocalyptic little.
Oh yeah.
Troupe. This will be our backup for a couple of years after.
Absolutely. Well, this will be our independent film when we got a little bit of money.
Heyo.
Love it. Yep.
All right. Well,
and Boston's just my favorite city in the U.S. I love living there. I miss it a lot. I only lived there 4 years or 3.5, really. Well, I mean, it got nuked, and it definitely isn't the same as it is today. I mean, sure, there are still parts of it that are still standing, but it is not in the game. It is not the city that it once was. So, yeah.
Yeah. I would totally suggest going back playing some Nuka World whenever you get the chance.
Yeah,
did you ever play Far Harbor?
Far
Harbor.
Did you? No, I keep getting bogged down with fucking Preston quests and they keep trying to make me build settlements all the time. You know? Oh yeah, no, can confirm. I learned how to be a professional taxi driver in Boston, and that was rather shuttle driver in Boston, and it was an insane experience. Yeah. They shouldn't have given the keys to the college kid to run the airport shuttle. So that was fun.
Hey, just a few nicks on a few cars. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, and also the airport van I was driving got the step up side panel got ripped off the side of the van at one point and actually did frame damage on the car because part of the big dig it got caught on a cement chunk that was just sticking out of the ground because something in the big dig had cut it up and there was no markings around it, and I took a right turn and ripped open the side of the van.
Ooh!
Did not get fired, thankfully, but I thought I was done.
Somebody 20 years later comes and is like, "Is your name Greg Crafts tomorrow morning?" No, do not serve
who
me.
you are. How did you find me? Yeah.
Well, actually, I was really interested in Fallout, and
oh, okay, yeah.
Surprise! No.
Every time.
I guess because it's 11:40. I know we kind of have a hard out here.
I got to get going, unfortunately. But yes, that's accurate. When a light turns green at an intersection, you know that the guys in front of you in the left turn lane there are 3 of them are going to dart out immediately. So just wait until they go, and then you can proceed straight. And turn signals are suggestions. Matter of fact, I think most mass hole drivers don't even know what they are.
Baby Driver got his start in Boston.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Before we jump out of here, do y'all just what would be if y'all had a highlight within the final 4 episodes of season 1? What would it be?
I loved watching the ghoul go off with bats on all the guys in the power armor. I'm super excited for that. You know, I'm super excited for that. I can't wait to see it again. And honestly, I want to rewatch the last beats of the finale because I think there were a couple of details that I missed. you know, and I want to just make sure that I've got everything on the right page because it does shape everything up, you know, for what's to come. But I want to like rewatch what's going on with Maximus and the Brotherhood of Steel and their acquisition of Cold Fusion and what's going on with all that, you know.
That's going to be, I don't think we've all talked about that as much.
No. I mean, and all the promo material has been very, very centered on Lucy and the Ghoul. You know, I mean, you do see some Maximus, but it's been largely Lucy and the Ghoul and New Vegas. Yeah. So I'm intrigued to see what it means when the Brotherhood has Cold Fusion and what they're going to do with it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So I love it when they call him out. It's the thing that all players have been saying for a long time. And Lucy says it to Maximus, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, so the Brotherhood acquires pre-war technology to utilize pre-war technology against people from having pre-war technology." It was just kind of like, it's a head scratcher.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. For me, though, I'd say my favorite cool factor is the Ghoul having his final fight in there kind of deal. I think emotional factor, story beat wise, my favorite part of those last 4 episodes is essentially everything that happens in the room that the Cold Fusion happens. That like final room kind of deal where Moldaver gets
Lucy finds her mom.
And dad. I mean, it was a family reunion. It was a screwy one.
Yeah,
but it was
zombie mom.
Anything stand out to you, Sarah?
Well, there was one scene. It was kind of a downbeat, but I think it was in episode 5. It was the scene where the flashback, when the Ghoul was having that rap party after he shot that commercial.
Oh, with
where he was sitting down by the side of the pool with that other actor and that
the
robot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know that he's talking about how we're all like actors are products and the end of the world is a product, and that whole scene right there, that's what stands out to me as like a key kind of thing. It's not really exciting, it's more of a downbeat, but
that's the heart of the
that
show
stands out to me. Yeah.
And it's so true and it's so good. You know?
Yep.
So good.
Father.
Oh, I was like, what?
I was like, fart?
Took me a minute to.
Like, yeah.
The way it was there, it's kind of condensed over here in the StreamYards thing. I read it as fat here. I was like, what?
I know I put on my layers, guys.
But it does say fat here if you put a space.
It does over there. I was like, what is going on?
All right. I gotta get rolling, guys. I gotta get on. I gotta get down, and I gotta tech Who's Holiday, the story of Cindy Lou Who 20 years after the Grinch. So it's gonna be a fun one. So and they're actually live streaming that show too. So if you guys, if any of you guys get curious about some of the stuff that we're doing, you can check out. Check out some of the streaming shows that we have happening over at the Hobgoblin Playhouse. We have at least 2 coming up, and I'm trying to get approval to stream at least 1 performance of A Very Die Hard Christmas. So,
cool. Hopefully, because I'd like to see it.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Hopefully, it's the one we get to go to. That'd be fun.
That'd be a good time. Yeah, absolutely. All righty, guys. Well, hey, thank you all so much for joining us out here in the Wasteland today. I know that the conversation ranged far and wide, just like the courier and his companions, ranging far and wide throughout the Wasteland as we talk about the new Wasteland that is the entertainment industry. So thank you. We will be back next week. And also join us starting December 17th for 8 weeks as we watch and do live watch-alongs with each of the new episodes of Fallout as they drop at midnight Pacific. Put on a pot of coffee and come and enjoy us. All right. Yes. Oh, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Absolutely. No argument there. I will accept no hearsay about it being anything other than the greatest Christmas movie of all time. And don't at me. It's just facts. Die mad about it. All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys. We will see you in a week.
Yep. See y'all Sunday for Sci-Fi Sundays, and again for our Patreon members on Monday for Farscape Patreon. And see y'all in a week.
Yep.
Adios, y'all.